Greetings, tax fans. This is, I think, the 5th video in this series on the statutory residency test. This time we're going to look at the automatic UK test. So, as outlined earlier, if one does not meet the automatically overseas test, then and only then do we move on to the automatic UK test. And there are 3 limbs under which one might be automatically resident in the UK. So firstly there's a day counting test, secondly there's a home test, and finally another full-time work test. So when it comes to that first test, the day counting test, quite simply, if a person spends 183 or more days in the UK, then that is the point of no return. You are done and dusted. You have no hope in hell of being non-UK resident. So, yeah, if you've been in for more than half a year, intuitively, I think you are a resident here, and you're not going to be able to make any argument to the contrary. The second limb of the automatic UK test is the home test. And for home test, it's perhaps better to think about it as the only home test. It's pretty complex when you look at it at the nitty-gritty level. However, one will meet the home test in circumstances if you have a home in the UK and spend at least 30 days or part days in it, and secondly, do not have an overseas home. The second part is a little bit more nuanced than that, but hopefully it gives you the gist. So if you satisfy both of those, then you will meet the home test. So the best way to think about it probably is if you need to have a UK home and not have an overseas home to tick that box. And it's a box. If you're trying to establish non-UK residency, of course, you don't want to tick. But that final test is the full-time work test, and it's almost exactly the same as the full-time work test we've looked at under the automatic overseas test in the previous video. However, and perhaps intuitively, its purpose is to assess the work days in the UK rather than the work days overseas. So when you do your calculations, if the final answer which pops out of the sausage machine is that you are working 35 hours a week or more in the UK, then you are a UK resident. If we don't satisfy any of those 3 tests, 3 automatic UK tests that I've set out there, then we need to move on to the third and final stage of the statutory residency test, which is called the sufficient ties test, and we'll deal with that in the next video. But if you like these videos, please give us a follow. Feel free to stick any comments or queries in the comments below, and if I can, I'll try my very best to answer them. But for now, that's all. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.